What's up, everybody? This is Victor from Cyborg for Life, and I want to welcome you to episode 15 of Lengthening Live, where the patients get to interview the guests. And today we are joined by Jennifer, and she is going to tell you about her lengthening journey. So welcome to the show, Jen. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a completely different type of procedure you had done. Now, you had a leg length discrepancy. And, recently I've been talking to a lot of patients who get stature lengthening, but I wanted to switch it up and ask you about your journey, because there's a lot of patients who have a leg length discrepancy, yours truly, and it's a completely different turnout, because you're going from being disabled to being, better off. So I want to hear a little bit about your story. Why did you need to get leg lengthening done to lengthen your tibia?
Sure. So I was born with constriction bands, and it affected my lower right leg. So by the time I was an adult, I had some pretty noticeable discrepancies and some pain in my lower back. And as I got older, the pain kind of crept into my knees and other places too. So I was just like, oh my gosh, this is getting so painful. So I know for a long time that I needed the surgery, and it was just a matter of getting to the right place and moving to the right city to find the right doctor. So finally, that all fell into place for me, and I'm 8 weeks post-op.
Are you serious? That's awesome. That's very, very cool. So you're 8 weeks post-op, you got lengthening, and so you got it was the right tibia.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Right tibia. And how much length did you need to get done, lengthen?
4 centimeters.
4 centimeters, just like me. Okay. And what type of device or lengthening method did you have done?
I have the precise nail down my tibia.
Okay, gotcha. And it's still there because you had it done 8 weeks ago. And can you tell us, well, do you mind sharing where you got it done, or you don't want to have to?
Sure. Yeah, I don't, it's not as glamorous as some of the places you guys mentioned, but there are some good doctors that do it here in St. Louis. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
And the physician who did it is Dr. Gordon with Washington University.
Okay.
And so I met with him and consulted with him, and then had to make up my mind, which was a really big deal.
Yeah.
And so I met with him in late 2020. When I was like, I know it's kind of a pandemic right now. Can we really do this? I just wanted to, I was ready. And he was like, yeah, we can do it whenever you want to be put on schedule. So I was like, okay, well, let me have one more hot girl summer, and then let's do it late August.
That's awesome. Now, you had a leg length discrepancy, and being a former discrepancy patient myself, I know how hard it is to cope with that for years. Now, you were born with it congenitally, so you had it from birth. Mine was traumatic. So can you explain some of the difficulties that you had to face growing up with this, 4 centimeter gap when you were fully grown?
Yeah, so I was a Shriners kid. So if you're familiar at all with Shriners Hospital for Children, I was a patient as a baby, really. And I grew up in Florida. So before the Tampa Shriners Hospital was open, I would go to the Shriners Hospital that was in North Carolina, I think. And so as a Shriners kid, I knew that there was a lot of this was a long-term thing for me. I was going to have surgeries for a while. Yeah. Well, and you age out of Shriners at 18. So I was like, I didn't have the surgery by that time. So I was like, okay, well, now I know it's just something I'm gonna have to grow up and pay for on my own. So that was kind of how it all started. But growing up, so as a Shriners kid, I remember having to wear braces that were just awful and painful. And they honestly looked a lot like the brace I'm wearing now.
Oh, look at that. That's awesome.
So I'm like, oh, now I love the brace. But so because my doctor works at a children's hospital, I got to actually pick a really cool theme for my brace.
Yeah, you got the whole decal and everything.
But I hated it as a kid, and so I just kind of never fully treated the discrepancy. then when I started college in Tampa, Florida, I got to actually work at Shriners. So it felt really
Oh,
good to give back
yeah.
to the hospital that served me.
Right.
So while I was there, I worked there like 5 years, 6 years,
Yeah.
and I had some people from the orthotics department actually make me some shoe lifts, some
Okay.
inserts.
Hmm.
So obviously they couldn't do the full 4 centimeters. That wouldn't fit
Yeah.
any shoe, but it was about a 5/8 inch that I just kind of been dealing with all these years.
Yeah.
So I think that answers your question.
Yeah,
It was painful.
absolutely. Yeah, that yeah, it was painful. Now, did you play any sports throughout like high school or college? Did you do any like running, track, sport? Yeah, tell us a little bit about like your activity, physical activity, and what that did to your
Sure.
what your discrepancy did to that.
Yeah, so I didn't do anything for school because I didn't really like wearing shorts. I was too self-conscious of my discrepancy. And so, because in high school, if you were in track, you'd have to wear the suits that they gave you and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm not wearing shorts. So I would run on my own. I started running and exercising when I was 14.
Wow.
And so it was a big passion of mine, still is, but I would run a lot, several miles a day, because it was my coping. It was kind of like my stress relief.
Hmm.
And I really loved running. But then when I was 29, I found out I got arthritis down my ankle, my right
Wow.
ankle.
Yeah.
So they were like, you need to stop running. And I was like, nope. So, I just kept running, kept working out.
Yeah.
And finally, last year, I actually did get some surgery on the arthritis to help
Did you?
alleviate that pain in my right ankle.
Yeah, that okay, gotcha. So running, you did a lot of running. You got arthritis in the ankle. It's funny because I think I may even have some onset of arthritis in the knee, and the people who live with a discrepancy. It's hard to explain to people who don't have it, but you really go through traumatic pain all your life. So you were going through this up until when did you find out about limb lengthening? How did you find out about that?
Yeah, I knew about it as a Shriners kid. I saw kids around me getting it done with the Elizarovs.
Oh yeah.
And then when I started working there in college, I saw them even more and I learned about it even more.
Mhm.
So really, I knew about it since I was like 21, 22.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, I know this is a real thing. I can get it done. It can help me. It's just a matter of getting that timing right. And
Right.
of course, finances too.
Yeah, gotcha. Now you say finances, but I know a lot of leg length discrepancies that are over a certain threshold, usually 2 centimeters. Insurance companies will actually see that as a medical disability, and they'll actually cover a significant portion or even all of it. Were you lucky enough to have your insurance company cover it?
Yes, with no
Okay,
problems whatsoever.
awesome.
So thankfully, it's not going to cost me, upwards of $100,000.
Yeah, yeah,
And I still have the bills rolling in. So it's
right,
going to be 6, 8 months before I even know how much this costs total.
right.
But I did know that the device itself was like $5,500 because I did ask about that. What is this? Because I wanted to compare the Elizarov versus the Precise Nail
Yeah.
in my research. And this was only like, I want to say like $200 more. So I
Wow.
thought, well,
That's crazy.
for fewer scars too. So I thought that's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's more aesthetic for sure. Now, you said 55,000. I know that's really expensive for one precise nail. Did you get the
Oh no, 5,500.
Oh, 5,500. Oh, okay. Okay. I misheard you. I'm sorry. Okay, gotcha. That's
I
even
got
really
ripped
cheap
off.
for a precise nail, but that's really cool. But your doctor was able to get that. But very cool. So tell us a little bit about your lengthening experience. So you got this done with Dr. Gordon, you said, and were you nervous about getting this thing done? Because like you're lengthening your bone, but again, the soft tissue has to lengthen too. You knew about the procedure, and you had surgeries throughout your life, but tell us a little bit about your nerves going into this thing.
Sure. So, what really helped me actually finding your YouTube channel really helped because I watched a lot of other people's stories.
Yeah.
And I tried taking like notes on all the tips and tricks and everything like that so I could be like set up to succeed as much as possible,
Right. Yeah.
So that really helped. I scheduled this so long ago that I had a lot of time to think about it and plan for it. And I'm no stranger to surgeries.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
knew it was going to be like, oh. And for me, so the day before is when I kind of got nervous because, I was working out clear up until surgery time.
Yeah.
But the day before surgery, I was like, didn't really feel like going to the gym. I just kind of felt like sitting at home and like kind of worrying a little bit. I freaked out.
Yeah.
But when the day came, I was just like, I know it's going to be, I was expecting it to be a 3-hour procedure, and I knew where I was going to wake up, and I knew I was going to be in the hospital for 1 to 2 nights.
Right.
And so I was just ready to go and get it over with,
Yeah.
So when I walked into the hospital and checked in, I was just kind of like, I was excited again.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a little bit of nerves and excitement kind of like brewing together, but it definitely is very good to get that surgery over with. So you were in the hospital for 3 days. Did you have the physical therapist to meet you after surgery to kind of show you how to kind of get around a little bit on crutches?
Yeah, actually, I was only in the hospital 1 night. So my
Really?
surgery started at like,
Yeah. Tell me
started
about
at
this.
like, I'll tell you what I did. All right. So they told me 1 to 2 nights is all they expect. So I was like, I'm going to do my best to make sure it's only 1 night, because I am not a fan of hospital sleep. You just don't sleep well in the hospital with the IV and stuff. So
Yeah.
my surgery started at like 2, and it was supposed to be a 3-hour procedure, but it actually ended up being a 4-hour procedure. So they had a little bit of complications. And so when I woke up at 6 in the recovery room, the first thing I heard was, as the doctor's walking away, he's like, send her to the moon. I was like, oh my gosh, you're going to dose me up with all these drugs. So I was like, I didn't want that, because that only kind of prolongs your sluggishness, and it makes it harder to like regain your strength. So I fell back asleep after I heard those words, and I didn't have a care in the world, so it didn't matter. And then I woke up in my hospital room. It was nighttime,
Yeah.
and I just basically did the bare minimum that night. But that morning, I slept very little. Every hour a nurse was coming into the room, and I could not get comfortable.
Right.
I wasn't feeling any pain yet, really.
Okay. Yeah.
But I just couldn't get into a comfortable sleeping position.
Comfortable sleep. Gotcha. Okay. So you were in the hospital for 1 day, and your doctor actually discharged you. But yeah, I'm just so shocked by that. I've never heard of that ever for a lengthening case yet. So that's very cool.
Well, I'll finish telling you. So that next morning, by the time like 5 a.m. rolled around, I was like, what do I got to do to get out of here? You know what I mean? I'm like, give me the checklist. I'm ready to go. So I got physical therapy came, and they actually taught me how to use a walker at first. I was really weak. And so I thought a walker is probably best, because I was just so unstable, and so I didn't feel ready for crutches. And I was actually on the walker for about a week before I started feeling strong enough to switch to my handy dandy crutches I got here beside me.
That's crazy. So, okay. So for your on crutches, you were ambulating with that stuff for over a week. Tell us a little bit about sleeping when you got home. Were you still having trouble sleeping, or did you kind of like get into a normal routine pretty fast?
I have to be honest, the first 2 weeks were really brutal. I'm not a big fan of taking a lot of pain meds, but they sent me home with some oxycodone, and then a couple of other things, something for nerve pain, something for muscle spasms, and then naproxen for inflammation. And so I did take those mostly at night because the pain was pretty bad. You wake up. When I got sent home actually with a 3-day nerve block too.
Oh, wow.
So they did this thing where they had like this medicine ball in a bag that they sent me home with. And when the medicine ball shrunk up to like the size of an apple core, they said, you can go ahead and pull your catheter out of, they put it in the top of my leg, like on my thigh. Okay. So when the medicine ball was out, I had to pull the catheter out. And that happened, I guess, Sunday. So my surgery was on a Thursday. So by Sunday, the nerve block was done and over with. Wow. Okay. And then, so I did take pain meds for the first 2 weeks, pretty much around the clock. Yeah. Because it was pretty brutal. But so my surgery was on a Thursday. I started physical therapy the following Monday. Okay, very cool. That seems more trademark of what I hear from lengthening right there. And the 2 weeks, that's what I tell a lot of patients, and it's kind of standard across the board for all lengthening, whether it's cosmetic stature lengthening or leg length discrepancies. That 2.5 weeks is usually when the pain starts to kind of take a dive. So that's awesome. That's good to hear that. Now, Jen, so you mentioned about the pain, you mentioned about the sleep. What about your distraction schedule? What did your doctor set you on? Because you had to achieve 4 centimeters in length. How much were you lengthening per day? And tell us a little bit about that. Yeah, so I'm still lengthening. I
Oh, okay.
was really disappointed to find out that he only wanted me to lengthen twice a day.
Yeah, twice a day. Just a sec. I think
Yeah,
somebody's at the door. Just sorry about this.
no problem.
Yeah, it's in the office. All right, sorry about that. All right,
That's all right.
I'm back. um, so we were asking about distraction schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was hoping to be able to get 3 times a day at 0.33 millimeters each session,
Okay.
which would take me to almost a millimeter a day.
Yeah.
And that would have really sped things up for me. But like I said, there was a complication in my surgery. So as he was performing the tibia osteotomy, my tibia cracked kind of going up the bone.
Wow.
Um, and instead of going straight across. And
Mm.
so I've got that kind of healing up too still.
Yeah.
But I think that was the main reason why he decided to go with just twice a day. So I'm getting 0.66 millimeters a day.
Yeah.
By my estimate, I should be at about 35 millimeters right now. So almost done.
You're getting there. You're getting there. That's so cool because I had the same distraction schedule as you initially before you had to slow it down. Now you brought some content with you. You shared some pictures with me. Do you mind if I share that with the audience?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. That'd be great.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna share some of the X-rays that Jen sent me a little earlier, and let's see here, and you can see what she was talking about. So we're gonna share this. All right, let's go with. I think these are the
What
earliest
about the,
ones.
you could,
Oh, sorry.
what
Which
about the
one?
before? Want to start with the before x-ray so they can see the
Sure.
difference in my name?
Yeah, right here. So guys, this is the before. Can you see that okay, Jen? No?
Yeah, you want to open it?
Oh, I didn't know. Here we go again. I always
No,
have
we
trouble
see
with this.
all, we're seeing the folder.
Oh, you're seeing the folder. Okay. Let me share this individually. I'm gonna open that. Oh man, this app. I try it every week too. Okay, we're gonna do this again. Hold on. So we're gonna show her before picture. Here we go. Okay, you can see this one, right? There we go. All right.
There
So
it is.
as you guys can
Yeah.
see, her right tibia, so that would be on your left side viewing the screen, is shorter than her left tibia, okay, and fibula. So, and as you can see, it's actually kind of has like a little bit of a deformity. That fibula is really bowed in there. So tell us a little bit about that,
Yeah.
Jen. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's just the luck of the draw for me for having the constriction bands. For whatever reason in development, the fibula decided to snuggle right on up to the tibia real close.
Yeah, I see that. It's like all lonely. So that's awesome. Okay. All right. So let's see if we can go along here. So we're going to go back to the other photo. So let me stop sharing that. All right. So you want me to show which one do you want me to show next? The one where
If you want to show the one with the crack in it, then go with the one that's got the yellow circle and the red circle.
gotcha. I'll
I
show
think
that.
that's right after surgery also.
Okay, guys. So this is right after her surgery. And as you can see here, that's the crack that she was talking about. The red circle,
Oh,
correct?
the yellow. Can you zoom in?
Let's see here. Yeah, I can. Let's zoom in here. Oh yeah, I do see that
So
crack.
behind those top 2 screws is where it starts, and then
Yeah,
it goes all the way down. And then the red
fissures.
circle shows where the osteotomy was technically performed.
Gotcha. So he did the osteotomy right
That's on the
here.
tibia.
That's a fissure right there. That's crazy because that spiral fracture kind of like that. I kind of had something like that in my tibia as well. And how did that happen?
It just happened during the osteotomy when he was cutting
Oh,
across the tibia.
gotcha. It happened
Yeah.
during the osteotomy. Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. All right. Any preference on which one to share next?
No, I guess it'd be cool to start sharing some of the spacing if you
Yeah.
want to share like
Yeah. So we're going to show you some of her
the
actual distraction length here. All right, guys. So let me open up a folder. So let's see. I'm going to open them all. All right. Here we go. All right. So you think I'd be a pro at this by now. But it's a lot more difficult than I expected it would be. Okay, so let's close that out. Okay. Share screen. Boom. Okay, so it seems to be having some issues showing the actual pictures. But anyway, while I work on that, Jen, can you tell us a little bit about? Yeah. So you're technically 3.5 centimeters in length. So you have about a half of a centimeter left to go. And when do you expect to finish that up? Next week?
Yeah, the next time I see my doctor is next Thursday, and I'm
Next
bringing
Thursday.
this device. This is what I've been lengthening with.
Yeah.
Here. Is this what you had?
Yeah, bring it in the view a little bit better. Now that's a newer version. That's the newer version, the purple and gray thing that they rolled out after mine. That's the newer ERC.
It's so
external.
heavy.
Yeah.
Was yours bigger and heavier than that?
I think it was. It's been a long time. I think it was about the same, but it was a small black one, and I think that's actually heavier from what I hear. So yeah.
And it sits right over one of my incisions. And so at first I was like, oh, this is so brutal, but you get used to it as you
right. Yeah, you definitely do get used to it after some time there. But so when you I have a few more questions and we'll hop right into the live chat because I know you gotta roll soon. So we mentioned about your pain, your physical therapy. That's what I want to talk about next. How often are you doing physical therapy? Are you doing stretches for your ankle dorsiflexion yourself, or are you seeing an actual physical therapist?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So ever since 4 days post-op, I've been in physical therapy 3 times a week for an hour.
Okay.
And so my physical therapist works on, we're working really just on range of motion right now, since I can't weight bear at all yet.
Right.
And so I see him 3 times a week, but even at home, I'm doing it 3 times a day. He has me doing my exercises and stretches at home too.
That's awesome. Good. You're doing really good. And how's your ankle dorsiflexion, like your flexibility in your ankle? Is that pretty good?
It's always been limited because of my, constriction bands. I was also born with a little bit of a club foot that's been treated.
Okay.
But it's affected my ankle. So like, you know how your ankle joint kind of rolls like this? Like this is your, what is it called? The talus. Your
talus,
is
yeah,
nice
the talus, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then your tibia sits on top of it like that. Mine is really flat, and it's just kind of always been that way. And so I have limited range of motion, but we work on preserving whatever we can.
Right.
I think it's going pretty good.
That's excellent. That's great to hear. Okay, so let's see here if I can get any pictures. If not, I'll just pull them up at the end there. But okay, so very cool. So we talked about her physical therapy. I think that's pretty much what wraps up my part of the interview. Do you have anything that you want to add to that we might have not touched on? You're still lengthening, which is really cool. She hasn't finished yet, but she's going to her checkup next Thursday with her surgeon to see if everything's looking good. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop right into the live chat. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. All right, here we go. Okay. So I'm going to read my guy's question here. So let's see. Laura had a question. I know that she was first, so I'm going to ask that question first. And let me find it here. Here we go. Laura, where's your question? Here it is. Oh, well, I don't want to ask that, Laura. How old is Jen? We don't want to do that. she asked that question, but let me ask her. I think she had another question. Here it is. Okay, she was curious about your PT. How was she bearing weight with a walker on, I guess, surgery day, or yeah?
I was not bearing any weight. I had to just kind of lift my leg up, and it was heavy. What they wrapped me in post-op was like a whole bunch of like ACE wraps, on top of the strips from the surgery. And then I had this really big, heavy boot, and so that didn't help because I was so tired and weak anyways. I'm trying to lift this 50-pound thing. It was really hard because you don't really feel like moving your leg at first.
No, that's for sure.
So I was not weight bearing on the walker.
Okay, gotcha. So she wasn't weight bearing on that. She just said that she was curious how you got around. So very cool. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the other questions that we have in the chat, and let's go through it. All right. Here we go. Zenosama is asking, did you have the chance to do the lengthening on your femur, or was it the only way to fix your discrepancy, I guess, on the tibia? I asked this because Vic said that he could have done the femur, but he chose to do the tibia instead to fix his discrepancy. Yeah, good question.
That's a really good question. Yeah, my doctor proposed to me a few options, and I was like, isn't it obvious to everybody else if the tibias look short, then fix the tibia?
Yeah, that's what I said.
That was like the most obvious. But yeah, they did offer that to me, and I guess for whatever reason, some people go that route, but it's not what I wanted.
Yep.
Ultimately,
that's the same thing. Question. I'm in the same boat with you, Jen, because my doctor said the femur would be so much easier and so much quicker and it would heal better. But I was just like, the tibia is shorter. It makes sense to fix that one. And it's the one that I broke. Let's just fix it. And she's like, it's not broken. It's healed. You just need to balance out your hips. So I was like, okay. I was a young and dumb kid back then. So, okay. Let's see here. Okay, Benjamin Minosa. I know you said that you lengthened your tibia, but since you had a leg length discrepancy, does it mean you did your surgery with one leg, or you? Yeah, well, So Ben, basically, a discrepancy is one leg. It's a lengthening of one leg at a time. Okay. Let me see. I should probably just follow my guy's question here. Okay, so Zenosama is asking. Here we go. Are you okay on time, Jen, for like about 5 minutes or so?
Yeah, I got about 5 more minutes.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna run through these. Okay. I'm trying to find the good questions because let's see here.
If you're just going through the chat, it's really hard to weed out comments from questions.
It is. Yeah, I know that's the chat. Right. And I have a guy that's actually doing that. I'll ask them, but I want to put them on screen. So the next question is Parth. He's asking, can you talk about your pain med cadence schedule? So you said you had the oxycodone and everything else. Did you wait until the pain started to creep up, or were you very proactive with taking them at prescribed intervals?
I wanted to wait it out and see what I could tolerate. And so, that works some days, and other days it was really bad. So I did have the oxycodone that I took mostly just at night because the pain was keeping me up and making it hard to sleep. And so I'd only take one. Okay. But it's something that you can take like every 4 hours. Yeah. And then in the morning, I was taking the cyclobenzaprine, I think it's called, and then gabapentin for the nerve pain, and then naproxen for inflammation. Yeah. And those were just a twice a day kind of thing, morning and night, except for the muscle spasm pain, which is the cyclobenzaprine. That one I was supposed to take like 3 times a day. But as soon as I could, I spaced them all apart and then just tried weaning myself off. So I really only take the 3 meds at night now.
Okay,
because that's when I have the most spasm.
Gotcha.
Oh, what? I do have like one piece of advice I do want to give to people. For me, I was kind of clueless at first, and I would wait to do my nighttime lengthening and my nighttime stretching right before bed. And I even emailed you about this pain.
Yeah.
Because it took me like 6 weeks to get it. And that was really bad because then as I was laying down to try to sleep, the meds hadn't kicked in yet, and I was really feeling the stretching pains. Really, the stretching pains felt like restless leg syndrome, which I didn't think was real.
Yeah.
So what I've done to prevent that from happening is I do my last lengthening session and take my meds and do my stretches 3 hours before bedtime, so that by the time I go to bed, everything's settled, and I don't have those spasms or restless leg feelings anymore.
Okay, very cool. All right, moving right along here. We have about 3 minutes left, and then we're gonna let Jen go. So I'm gonna try to get to the questions that aren't redundant or I can answer at the end when she has to go. All right, let's ask this question. So Laura's asking another question. Please show us the machine again. It seems slightly different than ours. Ours is in purple. Yours is in blue. I think it might be the screen, Laura. I think is yours purple, Jen?
Yeah, mine is blue. Yeah.
Oh, it is blue. Yes. It is. I see it. Well, that's crazy. So I guess they have different colors. Look at invasive. All right. So you're right, Laura. It is a different color. All right. So we are going to go into the next question, which is down here. We have 2 more questions we're going to take. Let's see. All right, let's see. All right, so the next question is, do these non-planned fractures affect the lengthening process, and how bad can they get? So when you had that fracture from the osteotomy, how did your doctor work around it? Did he just leave it there? Or did he actually kind of lock it into place?
I don't know if he did any special screws because of
Okay.
it. I feel like I do have a lot of screws up there at the top of the tibia.
Right.
But he really said not to worry about it. Since I'm non-weight bearing anyways, that gives it plenty of time to heal.
Yeah.
I think it's closing up pretty good, but I can still see it in my x-rays. But yeah, that's something that he said not to worry about. So I'm trying really not to worry about it.
Okay.
And staying off it is going to help it close and heal.
Yeah, it's going to hurt. Okay. All right, guys, last couple questions and then we're going to let it go. Here's the question that we have. Here's another question. So Ben is asking, did you have any family, friends, or kids supporting you when you did your surgery?
Yeah, I've got my husband and my son, and they've been helping me a lot.
They have? Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. It's very helpful to have a support network. It is. All right. Let's see here. Okay, Laura's asking another question. Do you still have the brace or the cast on the leg? Yep, she showed it earlier. If you want to show it one more time so you can.
Yeah, I'll show it again.
There it is.
And it's got 2 straps on the strap.
Yeah, that's you have to wear that at night, right, to keep it from from pronating down. Okay. All right. I think we're good. Jen, do you want to say anything to any other patients out there who are considering limb lengthening for a leg length discrepancy, or even if they had a condition like you from birth?
Yeah, I think medicine is amazing these days, and if you can find the right doctor and plan the procedure and get it done, I definitely recommend it. I'm 8 weeks post-op now, and it's like the thing isn't even there anymore. It's crazy because the first 4 weeks I was like, this thing is weird. I want it out. I was kind of impatient with it. And you do have to be patient, you know, especially for me, only being able to lengthen twice a day. That kind of made my lengthening process longer by like 14 days. I didn't really expect it. But, you know, I feel like even you have told me in emails, you guys, slow and steady wins the race on this. Absolutely. And so you do need to be patient and just kind of take it easy. And, you know, when the length is there, the length will be there. And so I think it's just a really great miracle that we have, and if you need to get it done, I highly recommend it, and I hope it can be done for everybody who needs it.
That's awesome. Great way to end it. Well, Jen, I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing your experience with everybody. It's been really, really helpful. I actually posted your link in the Limb Length Discrepancy Facebook group, and two different ones, and I'm sure they're watching here. I know Laura came from one of them. So I really appreciate you sharing your story, and maybe we'll touch back with you, reach back out to you in the next couple months when you're back up, you're done healing, and to get a follow-up update with you.
That'd be great. Thank you so much, Victor.
You got it. All right. Have a great evening.
You too. Goodbye.
Bye. All right, everybody. That is episode 15 of Limb Lengthening Live. I really appreciate you guys coming out and joining. Like I said, it was going to be a short one because Jen had a roll. But hey, if anybody has a limb length discrepancy out there and you need to get this get it fixed, if it's over a certain threshold, usually insurance can cover it. And I'll tell you this, from being a discrepancy patient myself, it is a nightmare to live with that thing. It's like stature lengthening. Don't get me wrong; it's a very hard procedure to get through. Any lengthening procedure in that sense, but when you live with the discrepancy, shoe lifts can only help so much. So that is my promo for lengthening. Yeah, so next week, guys, I actually don't think I have anybody scheduled. I think there was an interview scheduled, but I don't know if he's going to still do it. So if you know any patients who wants to come on and share their experience, let me know. You can email me at victor@cyborgforlife.com or live@cyborgforlife.com. What else? Maybe I'll try to get a surgeon on. If you guys have suggestions, what we can do with the lives, just let me know. Yeah, let me just see if I have any questions in the chat here. Hey, Liam, what's up, man? You joined the chat, the live. I really appreciate you coming out. Yeah, I should have asked this, Liam. I'm sorry. She was in she had a time constraint. So, but anyway, guys, yeah. So feel free to reach out to me. Hey, Thorfinn, what's up, man? I appreciate you, my mod. And backstage, we got Randy helping out with the questions. And yeah, thank you, Paul, for showing up. Surgeon will be great. Which surgeon, Thorfinn? Who do you want on? I'll see if I can make it happen. Let me know. We've had on, who do we have on so far? We had Dr. Robbins on live. We had Dr. Mabubian on. We've had Dr. Aseag. We've had, that's it, right? Yeah, we had a couple of them. So not a whole lot of surgeons yet, but let me know who, and we'll see if we can make it happen. Maybe a surgeon we haven't heard from in a while. Well, there's a lot of them. I only did like, I don't know how many interviews. Dong Hoon Lee. Oh, Lord. Victor, can we have Dr. Conway on again? Oh, okay. Maybe that, yeah. Hey, my surgeon, she's super busy. I'll have to try to reach out to her and see if she'd like to come on. Maybe, because it might be after hours. Maybe we can get her like at 6 o'clock. But anyway, I'm just answering some last minute questions here, and I might chop this out so it doesn't ruin Jen's interview, but I'm doing this for you guys because I know it was a short session. We usually host these for like 2 hours. I'll stay for 5 more minutes if you want, if you have questions for me. Let's see here. These things are moving. Randy, you see this? This is like jumping on me. Hey, Victor. Tried to get Nicholas from Nicholas's leg lengthening journey channel. Oh, is that somebody who has a YouTube channel? Somebody sent me a video a while back of somebody who's running, and I couldn't find the YouTube channel again. You guys can email me YouTube channels of these people. Yeah, I know. I think it was Dr. Aseag's patient who has a channel or something like that. And then, but I don't think it was the same guy. It was a taller guy. But send me stuff, and I can look at it and ask people. Oh, you've been talking to Nicholas. He's open to it? Oh, really? Okay. Well, link him up, Thorfinn. Give him my contact information because I don't know how to find the channel. You can see what I can do on social media. Yeah, I know, Ben. Yeah, they usually are too long. They're like an hour and 40 minutes. You guys really want this Nicholas guy on? All right, well, hook it up, man. Like I said, you are my little go-getters. You guys know how to find these people, so. I like it ice cold. Dr. Geoticus. That's true because he's doing a lot of the he's using that nail, the G nail, right? And I know a lot of patients are getting that done right now. So maybe that would be good to have him on and explain what's really how that thing works and explain the behind the scenes. That might be a good idea. Maybe I have to reach out to Anta, see how they're doing. The second round with Dr. M. You like the first round? All right. Cool. Where's the best country to get the surgery done? Where it makes sense for you. And you obviously want to make sure it's safe and efficient and all that. All right. I'll answer one question here. I think this is actually a really good question. How bad is the pain after taking the meds like Oxy? I think it's very tolerable after taking like a narcotic like that because you feel like it really helps you for about an hour or so, 2 hours, but then you got to time it. And I try to get off of that stuff really, really quick. I actually didn't want to take it at all, but it was pretty bad the first 2 weeks. And then like I said, got rid of the inflammation and the swelling, and then everything was better. So, okay. I think that is it, guys. I really appreciate you showing up. Dr. G is someone you can trust. I wouldn't be surprised if he agreed to come over. Well, yeah, I've had him on before. We were going to do something before, so. Captain 7. Would you recommend to do the femur lengthening over nail? What do you think about it, Victor? I mentioned my thoughts on it before. I'm not a huge fan of it, but some surgeons are actually saying that they're thinking about doing it. But anyway, yes, Diana, I know. You always want to know about these scars, right? Like about the tibia scars. I showed my scars in one of my videos, so hers are probably even less because women take better care of their skin than guys. So. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Thorfinn. Thanks, Parth. I really appreciate you guys showing up. I got to get ready to roll. So, guys, that is episode 15 of Limb Lengthening Live. Next week, we'll see who we have. I'll just try to work my magic and get some special anonymous guests on. All right, guys. Until next time, this is Victor from Cyborg Flight signing out. Peace.